First things first, Joe, just tell us what the ambulance service is seeking with this millage.
Well, we're actually seeking to increase a previous request that the Board of Commissioners had approved for us. We were kind of in a two-part increase where we thought, let's go as slow as we can, monitor that as we go so that we're not, overburdening the taxpayers. Well, it came time, 2022 was when we got that initial approval. 2024 now, after a lot of reviewing, a lot of discussion with our board of directors, myself, corporate counsel, and things like that, we just realized that we got to go even further than the initial two-step process that we had gotten approved. I guess structurally that's going to remain the same, but we're asking for a little more than we thought we were going to initially. So we're trying to get to a total of 4 mills in terms of taxpayer support to help us run the organization. Previously to this recent increase in the thought of increasing it, we were trying to get to 3 mills. Well, again, discussions with all those people involved kind of led us to say, 3 just isn't going to cut it due to just the extraordinary rapid increase in cost of service. 4 mills is going to be what we're going to need to operate currently, in terms of how we prefer to provide services to our community.
So, Tony, what are some of the critical needs that the board sees and the ambulance service is in need of right now?
Well, one of the things that we talk about at the board meeting with Joe and under Joe's direction and advisement is that you look at our ambulance fleet. Our ambulance fleet is very old. One rig is under 200,000 miles, but the other 2 are over 200,000 miles. And it comes down to us being able to pick your loved ones up and make sure that we can get them to where they need to go. Our hospital, Newberry Joy, or Marquette General, Petoskey, we just don't want to be, we don't want to take the chance of getting there. We want to know when our crews leave here that they're going to make it with your loved one. My parents are elderly, in their 80s. I want to make sure that not only my parents, but everybody's loved ones in this community have the best chance that we can give them to survive when something happens.
And there's a specific part of this millage that is going to be set aside just for vehicle fleet.
Yes, 0.5, if I'm correct,
Yes.
Joe?
Yep.
0.5 of the millage is strictly for purchasing new ambulances, new vehicles for the ambulance corps. It can't be used for maintenance, it can't be used for anything else. That's going to go into a fund. That 0.5 is, and that's half of what the increase is strictly for purchasing new ambulances.
Yeah, we've already actually developed that internal process. We have an account set up that is designated just for new emergency vehicle purchases. So and providing we do get the taxpayer support and voter support in November. That's what Tony said. A half mil, a complete 0.5 mil is going to be dumped into that account so that we can purchase new vehicles to address the things like Tony is saying. Being able to trust our equipment. We've had lots of mechanical issues with the ones that we do have. Our newest rig is a 2013. Manufacturer's recommendations and details are that these things are only really meant to service an area for up to 7 years. I mean, we're already over our service life of our newest vehicle, and they just get older from there. And then with older vehicles comes increased maintenance costs. We're really looking to do that kind of stuff.
And it's a bit of a challenge for rural EMS services, but an additional challenge here locally because we're a small crew and a small organization trying to cover a very large area.
Yeah, it's very true. Luce County has probably the largest square mileage in terms of counties in the state of Michigan. I think we're right around 1,800 square miles. So there's similar agencies or size agencies in our area that operate similarly to us, but they're not covering as much ground as we are. Obviously, the more ground you cover, the more wear and tear you have on not just your vehicles but your other equipment. A lot of our coverage area is for lack of a better way of putting it, wilderness area. That's even harder on our vehicles. The winters are hard on our vehicles and things like that. But yeah, 1,800 square miles. Tough to get our crews to cover that 24/7, 365. But without proper equipment, it's almost impossible.
And tell us about the importance of having two crews. I know that's one move that you and the board have tried to establish and keep on.
Yeah.
Not only to increase services, but also to provide a better service here locally.
Yeah, so historically, well, going back to 2010, right around 2010, when the organization first went full-time ALS, or Advanced Life Support, the intent and right out of the gates, there were two full ALS crews, and when I say ALS crews, I mean two crews capable of providing advanced life support services to individuals. There were two crews to begin with. One was designated as a transfer crew. One was designated as a 911 response crew. And we were trying to take as many interfacility transfers out of Helen, Newberry, Joy as we could. And we were taking probably 90 to 100% of those at that time. Fast forward, as you move closer to 2015, 2020, you start thinking about a big event in our world, the COVID pandemic. We started losing, not just Luce County, but EMS in general started losing, or healthcare in general started losing staff, started losing people that could do the job or were willing to do the job. So that, combined with the drastic and rapid reduction in reimbursement from third-party payers, caused us to not have enough staff to have two crews. We went down to one crew, and we were calling people in when we could to get transfers out, things like that. And then trying to stay competitive with wages, all of that kind of thing. That was one of the reasons we went back to the taxpayers prior to this and asked for an increase. We've gotten a lot of that fixed. Currently, what we're doing is we're running a pilot program, if you will, or a test program to see if we can sustain having two crews on. We have a limited second crew on now. Before we did that, I would say in the last 5-6 years, we were down to taking not 90 to 100% of the transfers out of the hospital here, probably more like 50%, sometimes less than 50%. Well, we started this pilot program in July, I believe, and we've been back up towards now. We're climbing back up to our goal of 100%. We're back to 85, sometimes 87% of being able to take transfers out of here and get your loved ones to tertiary care or more definitive care, Marquette, Petoskey, U of M, Detroit, those kinds of things. The goal is, if this millage is approved, we would like to have to go back to what it was in 2010. 2 full-time crews, 24/7, 365. And we're working on some things with the state of Michigan to get protocols in place so that we can allow ourselves to operate under those measures.
Tony, let's look at the downside. What are some of the risks that we run, or the challenges we face if we don't get a millage to support this?
Well, one of the challenges we face is we're still going to be using the ambulances we have, which are in for service or have left our crews on the side of the road at times, and they've had to sit there and wait till we can get another ambulance to them. That's a big challenge for me as a taxpayer and as a board member. Do we take this lightly? Everybody that sits on the board, 90% of the people that work here are Luce County taxpayers. None of us want to say, hey, we want to up our millage, we want to pay more taxes. Nobody wants that. Today's day and age, it's trying times right now. The country's in a bad way. But to keep offering the services that the Luce County Ambulance offers with the high quality as we want to offer them, as we are offering them, we had to go to the voters and ask for an increase. We're not taking it lightly. Nobody on the board, nobody working here takes it lightly, but it's something that we felt we had to do to continue providing the services in a manner we are.
Joe, last things, wrapping up, any words that you'd want to pass around or have the voters keep in mind as they prepare to go out and make their vote?
Yeah, I think overall, generally speaking, we need your support, and we know we need your support. We realize, and I'll echo some of Tony's comments, we realize that it's a burden, and people are being burdened with taxes around every corner. We understand that, and we do not take it lightly. We've had several board meetings discussing, do we even want to do this? Well, it came to, we need to do this. How much do we do? We went back and forth in board meetings about how much do we ask for. Let's ask for the absolute minimum amount that we need, and then and go from there. So generally, the message is we appreciate your support. We need your support. Without your support, we simply can't do it. What will we be looking at if we don't have the support of the taxpayers? Well, just a 911 response crew. I mean, having, we won't be able to sustain having two crews without the support of the taxpayers, which means we will have one 911 crew, and we will be responding to emergencies, and it'll be hit or miss in terms of getting people to tertiary care.
You may be in Deer Park and somebody, south of Newberry may need help. And you're looking at a wait, which is never comfortable in an emergency situation.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, we respond to 911 emergencies 45 minutes away, and that's just in our own county. We also try to, we're obligated to provide mutual aid to our neighboring communities. We also provide intercept services to those organizations around us that don't always have ALS capabilities.
Heavily involved in the community.
Yeah, very much.
We see you guys out at events and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So we encourage everybody, first things first, get out and vote. It's one of the great rights and freedoms that we do have. And when you do, we encourage you to show your support for the Luce County EMS service. Our community would be drastically different without them. And Joe, if they want more information, how can they go about getting that information?
I strongly encourage you to, number one, stop by and see us, ask us questions, see our facility, see what your tax dollars are going towards. You can also call 906-293-8871 is our office number. My email address is lc51, so that's LC the letters, the number 51, at luceems.org. Email me. Email, call, stop by. If you see me in the community, ask me questions. Our goal and our commitment from a board level all the way through our organization is to be transparent. We want folks to ask questions because we want them to have the answers. We want to be transparent. We want them to know exactly what their dollars are getting, and that's how we operate here.
We'll have more information as well coming up in future editions of the Newberry News. Look for that with questions and answers and more information regarding the upcoming millage for the Luce County EMS.